got about 10 minutes of comments, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. I'm going to kind of do it that way again, just so our sound quality stays good. So if you wouldn't mind, just stay on mute through my quick 10 minutes here, and then please hop on and ask your question. So the first half will be about sort of the process and the criteria, and then the second half will actually be looking at the online judging tool. So two distinct bits. The first thing to really say is thank you all for being involved in this. The National Invention Convention and Entrepreneurship Expo is an incredible vehicle to identify young inventors and inspire them to great things, and you all are a real important part of this process. So just so you have a sense of the judging and kind of what makes up the overall judging, you're involved in the first part, which is the online video pitch judging, which we're aiming to be done with this by a week from Wednesday, May 17th. And then the second part will actually be in Washington at the National Invention Convention, and the two components will be added together to give an overall score, and from that we'll evolve the placings and so on, and give out fabulous prizes. So we have sort of an overall sense of the organization and kind of what our mission is. Let me just share this with you. Sort of our mission is to provide students with opportunities to develop creative problem solving and problem identification techniques through inventing, innovating, and entrepreneurial activities, leading to greater consideration of STEM careers in high school and college. So that kind of frames what the National Invention Convention is all about. And as we judge, we want to, the key here is that all we're doing is judging the video. So we have a limit in terms of what we're going to see. We don't have the benefit of asking questions. We're just evaluating the video and the information contained there. So as a judge, that is, sort of the brackets in what we have available to us. So I'm going to share both the criteria, and actually before that, I'm going to share the context that we built the criteria around. So what we want to do is identify the best independently achieved invention and the process that the inventors went through. And so we say independently achieved, and again, we don't have the benefit of asking questions, but if there are indications that maybe their parents had some hand in the invention or whatnot, anything like that would detract from the overall score. We want to certainly recognize the students, the inventors, the young inventors who are doing this work themselves and going through a true process to get there. So there are 4 criteria that we'll be evaluating, and these will be in the online tool as well. And you'll have sort of a light version of them in the online scorecard. I'll, through email, share this detail with you. So the first criteria is process, and that's broken down into 4 elements. So their problem identification, their process to create a solution, their reasoning, and the current solution in the market. And so, what's the competition and what makes this better than those? The second criteria is the solution itself. So not just what it is, but what's the justification, what's the prototype, what does that look like, and is it protectable? Is it something that potentially could have a patent and go through that process? Third is impact. So is the market size and market type are critical here, what its impact on or potential impact on society are, and maybe there's some environmental impact as well. And then the final criteria is their presentation. So the 2 first criteria certainly are going to be a part of every one of these. So what was their verbal and visual skills? Again, we won't have the ability to ask questions, and not, in some cases, the inventors will be in teams. In other cases, they'll be individuals. It's probably, and just a ballpark guess, it's probably 2/3 individuals and 1/3 teams. And it will vary. Each of our experiences will be different because we're working in subsets of that. Each each of us has sort of ballots of somewhere between 8 and I believe 11 inventions in them, and so there'll be some variability in terms of how many teams you'll see versus how many individuals. And those are the 4 criteria, and again, sort of wrapped in the context of seeking to identify that best independently achieved invention and process. So we now want to talk about scoring, and so scoring has a couple of elements to it that are important. So we work on the Likert scale, the 1 to 5 scale, and the easiest way, and there can be, in any type of judging like this, there can be variability that happens. And so one of the easiest way to normalize scores is to start at a 3. So if you sort of imagine every one, when, before you hear them, they're at a 3 on all 4 categories, and then they go +1 or +2 for, sort of above average, and they go -1 or -2 for below average. And so you can be exceptionally consistent, and ultimately the scores don't matter. It's they do, but it's their relative ranking that's much more important. And so this is a very easy way, not only for us to stay individually consistent, but also across the whole system to stay consistent. And that's part of what we want to do, again, because not everybody's going to see every invention. We want to give the students as level a playing field as possible. So if we can start at a 3 with everyone and then go +1 or +2 based, or -1, -2, based on how they perform against what we feel is the middle of the road. It's a real easy way to stay very consistent. Another key note here is that the videos, the instruction to the students was that the video should be continuous and unedited. In other words, they can't stop and start, they can't add in effects, they can't add in music, and you may see some that have, and they missed that instruction. We would ask that you reduce their points by 1 or 2 for those breaches, and anyone that sort of broken that shouldn't have a score better than 3 in terms of their presentation. It's really important to do this because any kind of effects or editing will unfairly advantage some versus the others, and that's not really the point. This should be a pitch just like they would give if they were in person. It's being recorded, and so we don't want to have create a situation where somebody who's a good editor, almost like somebody who's good at PowerPoint, does better presentations. It's not really fair. There is an opportunity to give comment. We certainly appreciate any comments that you give. Obviously, lovingly critical is good. Giving just the good stuff without some constructive feedback isn't very valuable. If it's all great, then that's wonderful. We certainly want to give meaningful feedback, certainly careful, and again, lovingly critical is probably the easiest, simplest way to frame that. And then the final note is you may find, and we endeavored to check every video, and I'm sure we didn't get everyone, but you may find some locked videos. And what that means essentially is that inadvertently the person who posted it locked it or made it private. And so if you do come across a video of that nature, you're going to have a project name and a video link. If you could just email that to me, I will follow up on it and get it unlocked for you. And I apologize, but it is just the nature of these things. Sometimes parents get a little excited and make it private. And then, of course, if it's private, we can't get into it. So we need them to open it up so that obviously we can judge it. So just send me an email with that info and we'll get it unlocked for you. So let's go, and I'm just going to exit out of the slides here, and we'll go take a quick look at Pitch Wizard. Sorry, I got to refresh my screen here. So what we're going to do, Pitch Wizard is the judging tool. This is the scoring system that we're going to use. So I'm ready to log in as a judge, and this is I'm on a test site, so it'll look pretty similar to what we're going to be going on to. So simply going to go log in with my judge credentials.
and you'll see it says NICEE copy at the top. I'm just going to, from here, it's pretty simple. It's I'm just going to go down and click on judging, and this will actually take me to my ballot. So I can scroll down, and you'll see I have 5 inventions that I can judge: A, B, C, D, Acme Roadrunner, and so on. Actually, a couple of these have links that don't work, so I'm going to click on Acme Roadrunner, which I know does work, and you all love this video. It's an America's Cup catamaran foiling, so you know what the heck, I had to put some fun stuff in here. There you go. You can see a really great catamaran, guys on bicycles grinding in. Wonderful stuff. So let's go back to our scorecard. So we've now watched the video, and the student gave us their pitch, and these are intended to be a maximum of 4 minutes. And so once we've seen the video, we can leave that window open and go back and refer to it, but we're now going to go click over here on Add Score. And this brings up a ballot for us. So you'll see our 4 criteria: process, solution, impact, and presentation, and some abbreviated definitions, those key bullet areas. So again, the idea here is to start, if everybody's a 3, if at the beginning, we can go plus or minus 2 on, sort of in either direction here, and 5 being high, and we're actually extremely well. We're on the scorecard, you'll see it's actually excellent. You go from not at all to excellent is the range, but essentially 5 is high and 1 is low, and again, start at 3 and then go plus or minus in each of the categories, respective to how they performed in those categories. And again, your only assessment, you sort of have to wipe away your domain expertise and focus on what the student is conveying. We want to make sure that they've done the work and not just what the invention is, but what the process was. And if we scroll down, you'll see there is some sort of automated feedback that you could select, super pitch, and then we could add in some additional text comments. So this is the comments, the text part here doesn't weigh into the score. It's just things that you would want to convey to that student or that team so that they continue and learn from this. It's not just continue and stay excited, but we also want them to take away some things that are tangible and relevant to them. So from there, we're just going to hit save, and that will lock in our scores, and we'll see it actually gives us a score over here on the right, and then we could do the rest of them from there, and that's done. Each one we score and then move on to the next one. Those are the slides that I had. I'll just go on to my final slide here. And I'll share this. I'm going to be sending out an email with my contact information to everybody so that you have it, and I'll actually send out the criteria as well. It'll either be tonight or tomorrow. You'll get a notice from, in fact, I'll go to it right now. You'll get an email from PitchWizard, info@pitchwizard.net, that'll look something like this. And all you need to do from there is then just go to the PitchWizard site, and I'll send you the link in email and use your credentials to log in. If you need to, there's an opportunity to, if you forgot your password, you can tell it, ask it for a new password. In a second, it'll send you a new password. But really pretty straightforward from here. So I'll send out an email, then you'll get an email from PitchWizard letting you know that your ballot is ready. And then from there, it's just, as you can, go in and watch the videos and score them, and from there we're pretty well good to go. But what didn't I answer, or what questions does anyone have? Well, I so appreciate everybody's time, and again, we're very sensitive to your time. Feel free, if you do have questions as you're getting into this, please reach out, and we'll take it from here. But I know the students, the inventors, very much appreciate your involvement. We certainly do. And we certainly look forward to any feedback that you all have. So with that, I'll let everybody go, and you'll see an email from me again either later this evening or tomorrow with this webinar, with the link to
the site will be doing the judging, and also the full sheet with the detailed criteria on them. So with that, you all have a great rest of your day, and I'm sure we'll be chatting soon. Bye for now.